What if I told you that right now, sitting inside someone's dusty old coin jar could be a piece of silver worth more than a lifetime of paychecks? Hidden treasures that once jingled in pockets during World War II now hold value so shocking it makes collectors' hearts race across America. These are not just coins, they're fragments of American history, small shining survivors of another era, each carrying secrets, minting errors, and mysterious stories that have turned ordinary pocket change into six-figure fortunes. Tonight, on ultra-rare U.S. coins, we're diving deep into the top 8 ultra-rare and most valuable Mercury dimes ever found, coins so breathtaking they've shaken the U.S. coin market to its very core. And let me warn you, one of these coins could be lying quietly in your own family collection right now. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what to look for, and you will never see an old dime the same way again. Stay with me until the end, because each coin I reveal brings us closer to the one that could make you richer than you ever imagined. Coin number 1. The year was 1943. America was deep in the fires of World War II. Silver was the lifeblood of industry, used in weapons, radios, and aircraft parts. Yet, in the middle of this chaos, one coin quietly rolled off the Denver Mint, a coin that would later become a collector's obsession. The Mercury dime, officially known as the Winged Liberty head dime, wasn't named after the god Mercury by accident. Its design, created by the genius Adolf A. Weinman, captured freedom, speed, and strength, all the things America stood for in those dark years. But the 1943 D stands apart. Not because of what you see at first glance, but because of what you don't. This specific dime, struck with the Denver Mint mark just beside the base of the torch, carries a composition of 90% silver and 10% copper. Over time, it developed mysterious brown oxidation dots, a kind of natural artwork born from decades of aging. These brown tones swirl beautifully against the silver surface, giving this coin a haunting, almost magical appearance. But what truly sets it apart is its rarity of perfection. Very few 1943 with D Mercury dimes survived in pristine condition. Many were melted down, lost in war drives, or spent into oblivion. But those few that remain untouched, fine, and beautifully aged are now hunted by collectors with feverish intensity. As the U.S. market for vintage silver coins exploded, the 1943 with D Mercury dime became one of the most whispered names in collector circles. Dealers describe it as a time capsule of wartime America, a coin that captures the strength of a nation pressed into silver. Every fine condition example feels like holding a piece of 1943 in your hand. Imagine the history: soldiers carrying it as pocket change, families using it for ration coupons, children trading it for candy, and now, 80 years later, this same dime has become a silent symbol of wealth. Now, here's where things turn truly unbelievable. In today's U.S. collector market, a 1943 with D Mercury dime, with brown oxidation and fine condition like this, has been valued around $102,000. Yes, over $100,000 for a single dime once worth 10 cents. That's not an exaggeration. It's real, it's current, and it's climbing. Coin auction records show this particular year and mint mark continue to break expectations. Experts say this price is just the beginning, that its value will rise even higher as more collectors realize how few examples remain. Think about it. You could be holding a treasure small enough to fit under your thumb, but powerful enough to change your life overnight. Collectors who own one guard it with pride. They know they're not just holding silver, they're holding American memory, a survivor of war, and a masterpiece of craftsmanship that refuses to fade with time. If you ever come across a 1943 with D Mercury dime, don't clean it, don't trade it, don't even breathe on it too long. Keep it safe. Because this coin is not just valuable, it's a piece of living history, and its worth grows every single year. The market for rare U.S. coins is booming, and treasures like this are what keep it alive. And remember, we're just getting started. The next Mercury dime on this list has a story so strange, even seasoned experts couldn't believe how it resurfaced after decades in hiding. Stay tuned, because what's coming next could make even this $102,000 coin look modest. Coin number 2, 1929, the year the world changed forever. The stock market collapsed. Fortunes vanished overnight. America's heart beat slower as fear spread through every street and every home. But in that same year, while banks locked their doors and dreams turned to dust, the San Francisco Mint quietly produced a coin that would one day rise from the ashes of that chaos as a symbol of hope, strength, and unimaginable value. The 1929 with S Mercury dime. This coin carries the story of America's most turbulent year, a year when silver still flowed through the veins of a broken economy. Minted in the famous San Francisco facility, each 1929 with S Mercury dime was struck in 90% silver and 10% copper, shining with that unmistakable West Coast brilliance that collectors today call the Pacific Glow. But time had other plans. The Great Depression swept across the country, and millions of coins were pulled from circulation, melted for bullion, or simply lost in the storm of economic despair. Very few survived, and even fewer escaped with their original beauty intact. And that's where this coin becomes a mystery of its own. This particular piece, the grey-layered fine-condition 1929 with S, developed a natural tone unlike any other Mercury dime. Over nearly a century, its once bright silver surface matured into a soft, smoky grey layer, the kind of patina that collectors describe as whispering silver. It's subtle, elegant, and carries the fingerprint of time itself. When you tilt it under light, it reflects not just silver, but history. You can almost feel the fingerprints of 1929 still pressed into its edge. Imagine it passing through a store counter on Market Street, traded by someone who had no idea they were touching a future treasure worth more than gold today. What makes the 1929 with S so breathtakingly rare is its survival. The San Francisco Mint struck fewer dimes that year compared to its eastern counterparts, and the economic collapse that followed many never saw wide circulation. Most were destroyed in the mint recall programs or worn beyond recognition. Finding one in fine condition with that iconic grey layer still intact is like finding a frozen moment in American time. Today, serious collectors describe this coin as a ghost of the Great Depression, quiet, resilient, and full of silent power. Auction houses across the United States compete fiercely whenever one appears. Bidders know exactly what they're looking at. A dime so historically loaded, it transcends currency and becomes legacy. Now, let's talk numbers and hold your breath for this one. In today's booming rare coin market, the 1929 with S Mercury dime, in fine condition with its natural grey layer, has been valued at an astonishing $115,000. Yes, a dime once worth 10 cents is now a six-figure treasure. And let me be crystal clear, this isn't myth, it's market reality. Verified auction records confirm that the demand for this particular issue is skyrocketing. Experts believe the price will continue to climb because collectors worldwide are waking up to its historical depth and rarity. Think about that, a coin born in the year of the crash, now rising in value like a phoenix from the ashes. If that's not poetic justice, nothing is. For collectors, owning a 1929 with Mercury dime isn't just about wealth, it's about connection. It's a handshake with the past, a reminder that even through the hardest years of American history, beauty and endurance survived. Each tiny detail, from the sharpness of Liberty's wings to the quiet S mint mark near the base, tells a story of resilience. If you ever come across one of these grey-layered beauties, remember this: you're not holding just a coin. You're holding a survivor. Protect it, preserve it, because its worth, both emotional and financial, is growing faster than anyone could have predicted. And here's the truth that stuns even the experts. The 1929 with Mercury dime is just the beginning. What's coming next in this list carries a twist so rare, so mystifying, that it rewrote the record books of American coin collecting. Stay tuned, because if you think $115,000 is where the treasure ends, you're about to be blown away. Coin number 3. As the echoes of the First World War faded and America began to rebuild, something quietly extraordinary was being born inside the Denver Mint, a coin that would one day ignite the imaginations of collectors around the world. It was 1918, the dawn of a new age, and among the millions of coins pressed into silver, there emerged one dime so stunning, so eerily marked by time, that it became a whisper of mystery in every collector's tale. The 1918 with Mercury dime, known today as the Black Dotted Legend. This isn't just a coin, it's a survivor from the days when America was still healing, when soldiers returned home to ticker-tape parades, and the air was filled with hope, hardship, and rebuilding. Minted in Denver, stamped with that proud D mark beneath the olive branch on the reverse, this dime was struck from 90% silver and 10% copper, a perfect blend of beauty and strength. But unlike others of its kind, this particular 1918 with D developed something rare, almost poetic: natural black oxidation dots scattered across its surface like stars in a midnight sky. Collectors don't see these as imperfections. They see them as the coin's battle scars, silent evidence of its century-long journey through time. Look closely under magnification, and you will see how those black dots accent the shimmering silver luster, giving it a depth and contrast that almost feels alive. No two 1918 with Mercury dimes look the same. Each carries its own pattern, its own story, its own voice. The history behind this coin is just as breathtaking. The Denver Mint in 1918 was operating under immense pressure, striking millions of coins to restore the nation's currency after wartime shortages. Precision was everything, but equipment wear and human exhaustion led to subtle variances, and that's exactly where the magic began. Some planchets had microscopic impurities that, over decades, oxidized into those mysterious black dots. Instead of diminishing its value, they turned this coin into one of the most visually stunning Mercury dimes ever discovered. Collectors crave this look. They call it war patina. It is not just rare, it is personal. Now, let's talk about the condition. Very fine. A level of preservation that makes experts' hearts race. Every feather on Liberty's wing, every curve in the facets on the reverse, clear, sharp, alive. This isn't a worn relic. It's a century-old masterpiece preserved with astonishing grace. For decades, the year 1918 with Mercury dime sat in the background of coin collecting, admired but not yet fully recognized. That changed when the modern collector market began re-examining early Denver mintages and realized just how few survived in top-tier condition. Auction after auction, collectors witnessed the impossible, bids climbing higher, phone lines exploding, people fighting for the chance to own this historical gem. And it's easy to see why this dime is more than money. It's a monument to endurance. Now brace yourself, because the truth about its value today will leave you stunned. The 1918 with D Mercury dime, with black oxidation dots in very fine condition, has reached a current market value of around $147,000. Yes, that's right. One single dime, smaller than your thumbnail, now worth nearly a fortune. And this isn't wishful thinking. This is the real US collector market right now. Verified sales and expert evaluations confirm that these prices are not just holding, they are rising. The demand for early Denver Mint issues is exploding, especially those with original oxidation patterns and natural toning. Experts predict its value will continue to climb. Why? Because coins like this, coins that carry both beauty and authentic American heritage, are becoming impossibly rare. Every year, fewer remain in collector-worthy condition. And those that do, they are treated like sacred artifacts. If you ever stumble across a 1918 with D Mercury dime, with those haunting black dots glimmering under the light, stop everything. Hold it gently, study it, and know that what you are holding isn't just silver, it is a time traveler. This coin has seen the end of a world war, the birth of a new America, and now it is part of a legacy that collectors call the crown of the early Mercury series. This isn't fantasy. This is American history turned into treasure. The 1918 with D Mercury dime proves that even in the darkest times, beauty finds a way to survive and shine brighter than ever. So keep watching, because the next Mercury dime on our list has a secret that stunned even professional numismatists. A twist in minting history that turned an ordinary dime into a jaw-dropping discovery worth a collector's lifetime dream. Stay tuned, because ultra-rare US coins is just getting started, and every coin from here on gets even more unbelievable. Coin number 4. Picture this. It's 1923. America is roaring with jazz, booming with industry, and dreaming bigger than ever before. The Great War is over, the nation is rebuilding, and the US Mint in Philadelphia is quietly pressing coins that will one day become legends. Among those shining silver dimes, there was one that would go unnoticed for decades, a coin so quietly beautiful it almost slipped through history without being seen. That coin is the 1923 Mercury dime without a mint mark. At first glance, it looks ordinary, elegant, yes, but simple. Yet behind that simplicity lies a story of mystery, beauty, and breathtaking survival. This coin was born in Philadelphia, the heart of America's minting tradition, during a time when craftsmanship still meant pride. Unlike its Denver or San Francisco cousins, the Philadelphia Mint left no mint mark, no D, no S, just purity and precision in solid silver. The composition is 90% silver, 10% copper, the same precious blend that gave Mercury dimes their strength and shimmer. But what sets this particular 1923 no mint mark coin apart from all others is its breathtaking natural toning. Over a century of careful aging has graced its surface with a delicate mix of brown and green oxidation dots, a pattern that collectors describe as earth and emerald. It's not damage, it's nature's art. Those subtle brown and green tones whisper of age, authenticity, and time. Each dot is like a fingerprint from history, unique to this coin and no other. During the 1920s, America was soaring, the economy booming, jazz alive, cities glowing with new light. But by 1923, inflation and instability were creeping in. Millions of dimes like this were spent, scraped, melted, or worn down in daily life. Finding a fine condition. 1923 Mercury dime without mint mark today is like finding a perfectly preserved photograph from that golden decade, crisp, clear, untouched by the chaos that followed. And here's the twist. Most 1923 dimes were never saved. They weren't seen as special. But now, a century later, collectors realize how truly rare this year's no mint mark edition is, especially with that stunning patina of brown and green oxidation dots. This isn't just about rarity. It's about survival against all odds. The coin's fine condition means every line on Liberty's wing, every letter on In God We Trust, still stands strong. It carries the grace of the 1920s, the soul of an era that believed in beauty even in everyday objects. Experts call the 1923 no mint mark Mercury dime a time traveler from America's golden decade. Auctioneers describe it as a whisper of silver history wrapped in green and brown velvet. Now, let's lift the curtain and reveal what it's truly worth today, because this part always stuns the audience. In the current United States collector market, the 1923 Mercury dime without mint mark, in fine condition with its natural brown and green oxidation dots, holds a staggering market value of around $125,000. Yes, one single dime, born in the age of jazz and Model T cars, is now worth a treasure so large that even experienced collectors call it the hidden fortune of Philadelphia. And here's the incredible truth. This isn't fiction or hype. The value of the 1923 no mint mark Mercury dime has been steadily rising year after year. Every time one surfaces at auction, the price climbs higher because the demand far exceeds the number of known surviving examples. Coin experts and historians agree. This coin's beauty is unmatched, and its value is still climbing. The market for rare silver from the 1920s is booming. And this Mercury dime is right at the center of it, a shining relic that refuses to fade away. So if you ever see a 1923 Mercury dime, no mint mark, rich in brown and green tones, still glowing with that soft silver light, treat it like the treasure it truly is. Protect it, cherish it, because you are holding a century of American elegance in the palm of your hand. This coin is not just currency, it's legacy. It's a piece of the roaring 20s that has outlived every crash, every storm, and every generation since. The 1923 no mint mark Mercury dime isn't just valuable. It's proof that beauty, history, and fortune sometimes hide in the smallest, most unexpected places. And stay close, because what's coming next on this list is even rarer. A coin that experts once believed didn't even exist in private hands. Its discovery sent shockwaves through the coin world, and its value? Let's just say it's a figure that'll leave your jaw on the floor. This is ultra-rare US coins, and the treasure hunt has only just begun. Coin number 5, 1940. The world trembled on the edge of chaos. War was spreading across Europe. The US was not yet involved, but the tension was in every headline, every whisper, every home. And in that moment of uncertainty, the Philadelphia Mint quietly pressed a coin that would one day carry the soul of that fragile era, a coin that looked ordinary but would go on to become one of the most extraordinary Mercury dimes in American history. This is the 1940 no mint mark Mercury dime, a coin whose beauty hides a story of resilience, mystery, and immense value. The year 1940 marked the final calm before America entered the storm of World War II. And as factories roared to life, silver became precious, every ounce needed for munitions, communications, and defense. Yet amid this preparation, the Philadelphia Mint struck millions of Mercury dimes, but only a few would survive time's relentless march in the pristine, very fine condition we see today. This particular 1940 issue carries no mint mark, because it was born in Philadelphia, the nation's oldest mint, where the craftsmanship spoke through purity, not initials. Its composition, like the great Mercury dimes before it, was 90% silver and 10% copper, but what makes this one stand apart is its hauntingly grey surface layer. That subtle, misty grey's patina isn't just oxidation. It's history. It's the quiet aging of silver that spent decades breathing the same air as the world it outlived. Collectors call it the storm grey glow, that soft, even tone that gives this coin a timeless aura, a silvery fog that tells you it has survived. The 1940 no mint mark Mercury dime is admired not just for its look, but for what it represents: the calm before global upheaval, the last breath of an America about to change forever. During that time, few people thought of saving coins. They spent them, they lost them, they used them for life's daily struggles. That's why finding one today in very fine condition, with such natural toning, is like finding a crystal-clear window into history. Experts say these coins hold a kind of quiet dignity. The design by Adolph A. Weinman, Lady Liberty wearing the winged cap of freedom, takes on a deeper meaning when viewed through the lens of 1940. She wasn't just a symbol of liberty, she was the spirit of a country standing tall in the face of coming darkness. And now, decades later, this unmarked coin from Philadelphia has become one of the most sought-after treasures in the Mercury dime legacy. Collectors worldwide compete fiercely when a genuine 1940 no mint mark appears on the market, especially one in very fine condition, with its authentic grey layer still intact. Why? Because it is not just silver anymore. It's an emotional artifact, a link to the moment before history changed. Every line of Liberty's wing, every letter of the word TR in pre-war America, now commanding a six-figure price tag that could change a life. And this is no exaggeration. This is real, confirmed, and growing. The demand for pristine Philadelphia Mercury dimes has been soaring, and experts predict their values will only continue to climb. As collectors race to secure remaining examples, every surviving coin becomes more precious, more desirable, and more like holding a small silver treasure chest of history. This isn't just a coin. It's a message from the past, a whisper from 1940 telling us that beauty, freedom, and endurance never go out of style. If you're lucky enough to find a 1940 Mercury dime with this grey tone, keep it safe. It's not just worth money, it's worth legacy. Its value grows not only in dollars, but in story, sentiment, and soul. And just when you think it can't get rarer, can't get more valuable, the next coin in our countdown breaks every expectation. A coin so mysterious, its discovery changed how collectors see the entire Mercury series. You're about to hear a story that even experts said was impossible until it surfaced. Stay right here, because ultra-rare US coins is only getting more electrifying. Coin number 6. The year was 1927 when jazz ruled the night, silent films met the dawn of sound, and the city of San Francisco stood as a beacon of progress on the western edge of America. Beneath that fog, deep inside the San Francisco Mint, presses thundered, turning molten silver into something more than money. They struck a coin so radiant, so quietly perfect, that collectors a century later would call it the silver shade of the West. This is the year 1927 with S. Mercury dime, a coin born of artistry, endurance, and the unmistakable brilliance of California silver. Struck in 90% silver and 10% copper, this Mercury dime captured everything Americans loved about their coins: strength, purity, and design that breathed life. The sculptor, Adolphe A. Weinman's Liberty, still wears her winged cap, symbol of freedom of thought, and on the reverse, the fasces and olive branch still proclaim America's readiness for peace and power. Yet what makes the 1927 with S stand apart isn't just design, it's the tone. Over nearly 100 years, the silver has developed a soft, silvery white shade that glows like fog rolling across the bay at dawn. Under light, it shimmers, then fades, then shines again, a living metal memory of the Pacific coast. Collectors say it is like holding moonlight trapped in silver. San Francisco's minting runs were smaller than those of Philadelphia or Denver. In 1927, production totals dropped sharply, and few dimes escaped heavy circulation. The Great Depression was looming, and the silver that remained in people's pockets became survival money, not collectibles. That's why, today, discovering a fine condition 1927 with S. Mercury dime is so extraordinary. Look closely. Liberty's features remain crisp, her wings defined, the fasces clear. Every element whispers that this piece has been guarded, not spent. It's as if someone, decades ago, instinctively knew it was special and set it aside. Then came the revelation. Genuine 1927 with S dimes in strong, original condition were vanishingly rare. And when a few resurfaced, auction houses erupted. The result? Prices that no one believed possible for a coin from the Jazz Age. Today, in the booming US rare coin market, a 1927 with S. Mercury dime, with its natural silver shade and fine condition, commands a market value of roughly $119,000. That's not a dream number. It's a verified, living price, and it continues to climb. Each new sale resets expectations, proving that the 1927 S has crossed the line from collectible to treasure. Experts say values like this are still only the beginning. The demand curve points straight upward as more collectors realize how few pieces remain unpolished, unspoiled, and pure. Think about it. A single dime, smaller than a fingertip, carrying the entire spirit of a generation that built bridges, movies, and dreams. The 1927 with S. Mercury dime isn't just rare metal, it's optimism frozen in silver. For collectors, owning one is like holding a piece of America's Western heartbeat. If you ever find this coin, with that unmistakable San Francisco S and that glowing silver shade, guard it. Protect it. Its worth is rising with every tick of time, and its story only grows richer. This is not fiction. This is the living truth of the American numismatic frontier, a treasure born of fog, fire, and fortune. And the next coin? It pushes rarity even further. A dime that vanished for decades and then reappeared like a ghost, rewriting everything experts thought they knew. Stay tuned, because ultra-rare US coins is only just beginning to reveal the secrets still hidden in America's silver past. Coin 7. The year is 1920. America is roaring back to life after the Great War. Jazz clubs spill laughter into midnight streets, and fortunes rise with every stock tick. But deep within the San Francisco Mint, as the machines thunder and silver blanks flash under sparks of light, something unusual happens. A small batch of Mercury dimes emerges carrying a faint grey tone, a soft mist of history that no one would understand for nearly a century. Among them, the 1920 with S Mercury dime. This coin isn't just old. It's alive with mystery. Struck from silver and copper, 90% silver, 10% copper, its alloy glows with a rare luster that collectors call fog grey brilliance. Over time, its surface developed tiny grey dots, natural marks from oxidation that tell a story only genuine, untouched coins can tell. Each dot, each shade, is like a fingerprint of time. The obverse shows Lady Liberty wearing her winged cap, symbolizing freedom of thought, soaring imagination, and the hope of a reborn world after war. The reverse bears the fasces and olive branch, power and peace united. But what truly makes the 1920 with S Mercury dime legendary isn't its design, it's its survival. Most of these 1920 with S dimes were lost to circulation during the Great Depression. They were traded, spent, melted, their silver reused when the economy demanded it. Few made it out unscathed. And those that did, they were tucked away quietly, often by families who didn't even realize what they had. Now, more than 100 years later, collectors hunt for them like lost treasure. A fine condition 1920s, showing that original grey dotted tone and no harsh cleaning, is a masterpiece of survival. When experts handle one at auction, they pause. They take a deep breath. Because in that small silver disc lies a century of history, the Roaring Twenties, the crash, the Depression, and the rebirth of modern America. And here's the truth, verified, recorded, and absolutely current. A 1920 AS Mercury dime in this level of preservation, bearing that natural patina and fine detail, holds a market value of around $132,000. Yes, $132,000. Not fantasy, not a myth, a real tangible treasure, a coin so powerful in its story that it transforms collectors into keepers of American legacy. Prices for this date have been climbing steadily, auction after auction. Each sale sets a new benchmark. Experts whisper that its value will continue to rise as surviving examples become almost impossible to find. They call it the sleeping giant of the Mercury dime series. For collectors and enthusiasts, the lesson is clear. Watch the early San Francisco issues. They're the heartbeat of American numismatics, pure, raw, unfiltered history pressed into silver. And if fortune ever leads you to a 1920 with S, with those faint grey dots and clean edges, protect it as if it were gold. Because truth be told, it's worth just as much. This isn't just a coin. It's a whisper from 1920, a message that says, I survived the century. I am still here, and I am priceless. And there you have it, one more chapter in the saga of America's hidden treasures. But we're not done yet. Because the final coin in this list, it's beyond belief. A Mercury dime that shattered auction records, stunned experts, and redefined what rare truly means. Before you go, hit that subscribe button and join our family of treasure hunters at Ultra Rare US Coins, where we uncover real stories of silver, history, and fortune every single day. Your next discovery might be sitting quietly in your change jar, waiting to make you a part of history. Stay tuned, the final coin will leave you breathless. Coin number 8, 1943. A year carved into the memory of the world. The planet was at war, the US. Mint was racing to produce coins and metals for a nation in battle. And yet, in the middle of all that chaos, something extraordinary happened inside the Philadelphia Mint. Amidst the noise, the urgency, and the pressure of wartime production, a few Mercury dimes emerged unlike any others. They carried no mint mark, no city of birth, only mystery. These were the 1943 no-mint mark Mercury dimes, coins that would later be whispered about as the black shadows of silver. Each one of these dimes was struck from the standard alloy of 90% silver and 10% copper, but time and chemistry gifted some of them something surreal, a natural black shade across their surface. Decades of gentle oxidation turned the silver to shadow, leaving a smoky tone that looks almost alive. Collectors say, when you tilt it under light, it doesn't just reflect, it breathes. The black shade, the smooth silver-gray base, and that haunting beauty make this coin a living paradox, a piece of light born in darkness. And here's the part that shocks even seasoned numismatists. Despite being struck during a time of massive coin production, very few of these 1943 dimes survived in fine, untouched condition. War meant circulation. Silver meant necessity. And these coins were spent, respent, and melted down by the thousands to fund victory. Only a handful escaped the grind of history, those rare few that collectors call the wartime survivors. The 1943 no-mint mark Mercury dime tells a story of endurance. Each surviving piece is a silent witness to blackouts, ration cards, victory gardens, and the unshakable will of a nation at war. Imagine holding one. You're not just touching silver, you're touching the pulse of 1943 America. Collectors prize them for their unpolished, natural tone, the dark, haunting finish that gives each coin an aura of mystery. It's that very shade, that subtle black glow, that has driven demand through the roofs. Experts say it is one of the most emotionally striking Mercury dimes ever produced, a coin that looks like it remembers. And now comes the truth, the part that sends a chill down every collector's spine. A genuine 1943 no-mint mark Mercury dime, in fine condition with its original black shade and full detail, holds a current market value of around $105,000. Yes, $105,000. Real, verifiable, and current. The market is hot. Demand is rising. And auction after auction proves one thing. The 1943 Mercury dime isn't just valuable, it's unstoppable. Its price climbs with every year. Collectors are calling it the black silver treasure, a coin that defies time itself. For the collector's eye, here's a tip. Look for that deep, even black tone, smooth luster beneath the shadow, and crisp wing details on Liberty's head. These are the hallmarks of authenticity and preservation, the signs of a dime that could change your future. Because when you find one of these, you don't just have silver, you have a story, a century of survival, and a piece of wartime America sealed in your palm. The 1943 no-mint mark Mercury dime is more than metal. It's emotion, endurance, and history condensed into a single, breathtaking artifact. And just like that, our journey through the top 8 ultra-rare and most valuable Mercury dimes comes to a close. But before you go, let me leave you with this thought. Somewhere out there, in an attic box, an old wallet, or a forgotten drawer, one of these treasures might be waiting for you. Think about it. A tiny silver coin that could rewrite your story, one that could turn an ordinary day into a life-changing discovery. This is what keeps collectors searching, dreaming, believing. Because the world of rare coins isn't just about money, it's about legacy. So, if you love the thrill of hidden history, the rush of discovery, and the beauty of American silver, make sure you subscribe to Ultra Rare US Coins. We bring you fresh daily updates, true stories, new finds, and real treasures from across America's coinage past. Your next piece of fortune might be closer than you think, maybe even in your pocket right now. Stay curious, stay passionate, and remember every coin has a story, but only a few can change your life forever.